got money.
We hear from the majority of us in the circles that I run in, and most of the dudes that I know. We process the information, and then we really hit a heart and what's going on, and then we don't make a decision. We come up with a plan of action. So if the plan of action is put something in place, then that's what we do. I.e., oh man, I need to start working out more often, man. I'm about to do XYZ to make sure I get myself toned back up. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to be sexy. You know what I'm saying? Because the flip side of this, now, check this now. The flip side of this is she trying to make me accountable, but then she can tell me that my stomach a little posed and I'll let myself go a little bit and there ain't no issue. But the double standard is, let me bring that out my mouth once and say, babe, hey, listen, hey, not necessarily you let yourself go. Check it, cause we know how to communicate. I got the T. We know how to communicate. Hey, when the last time you been to the gym? You want to start working out again? See what I'm saying? Let's start going to the gym. This the type of dude you got. You ain't got a dude that's gonna say, hey, good Lord, you getting fat. You need to do something. This ain't the type of dude you got now. You gotta do, hey, babe. When the last time you been to the gym? You want to start working out again? You want to start eating? I can start buying what, and then he will go buy what you need to and cook to make the healthy stuff to make sure that we're doing it together as a team. Now, go ahead, T.
That's good. That's good.
Huh?
Oh, you saying I could go now?
Yeah.
Okay, so that scenario right there, what you just talked about, that's amazing. That's how it should be between two people. They should be able to be like, hey, let's work on something together, or I think you need to work on something. Here's let me just use your example, and then I'm gonna take it back to the example you gave before. Now, if I would have said, man, baby, them guys at my job, they be looking all buffed up. Man, what you gonna do? What I'm sure you're not gonna feel a kind of way, because here's the thing. When you bring another person into it, then that's what takes it to where somebody gets offended. Regardless of whether or not you intend to offend, still things that you can say out of your mouth can offend. And here's what I want to make clear. When you bring another woman into it and you could tell me that you need sex from me, you could tell me you need me to be more sexier. You can do all of those things without bringing another woman
Wait,
into the
hold
into
on.
the conversation.
Hold up. Now, what did you just hear?
No, no, hello. You remember, Tanya? You remember when he was
No.
saying?
I
He
I know
said,
what you're saying. I know what you're
"Okay,
saying. You're saying I didn't bring just another woman. I'm saying, okay, I'm in this environment.
no, I hear all of that. I'm not talking about a woman that you're dealing with on the side of nothing. I'm talking about what you're saying. How, because everything is about how you say it, right? If even though you're being
See,
truthful, you're being honest. Hold on, you're being truthful, you're being honest, but there's still a way that you gotta
no,
present things to people.
no,
Yes,
no, 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 no. Now
Oh, this is about to get, yeah, this
I'm
is
gonna
gonna be
explain.
good.
I'm gonna explain this to you. I'm gonna explain this to you. You telling me you want me to be vulnerable. This is the vulnerable space that I'm in, and I'm starting to feel frustrated. And you gonna tell me I gotta temper down where I'm at? You know me.
no, that's hold on. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you can tell me all you can say, be vulnerable and tell me all of those things that you're trying to tell me. You're telling me, man, I need more sex or
You
this and
just
this and
don't.
that without bringing enough, without comparing it, without bringing the other women that bother you or that be coming to you. That doesn't have to be part of the conversation.
I'm not
I get it.
comparing you to
It's
anybody.
got to be a way that I'm
Oh,
not saying that you are, but when you bring another human being into the conversation, that's what it does. whether you intend to or not. That's all I'm saying. It's got to be a way in how you communicate your
No,
vulnerability and your
you keep
truth.
telling me it's the way that I'm supposed to communicate. How else am I supposed to communicate to this? I'm
You
not.
can tell
I'm
me
not.
that you want sex without telling me that the women at your job is
No
oh, I'm having a hard time because these women they be
attraction.
on
No,
me.
no, no,
Come
no.
on, it doesn't
You
matter what you're saying. You can't bring
you
another woman
missing.
into it and expect for your woman to
No,
not get offended by that.
no,
Come
no.
on, man. Okay,
You missing
I'm a.
attraction. You missing attraction with sex. It's two different things. Two different
It's
things.
the same, but you're not getting what I'm saying. Okay. I'm not. I may not be articulating the exact subject matter that you're saying. What I'm saying is, when you want to communicate whatever that vulnerability is, as far as attraction, as far as sexual, whatever, as far as all of that, into whatever that is that you're trying to communicate, you should not be doing that by bringing what these other people out here that are doing that you're struggling with into the conversation and
Oh,
not
why?
expect for that woman that you're talking to not feel some type of way about that.
I
Because if
don't
I
feel
if
about
I
it.
went to my man, if I went to my man and say, hey, Derek, boy, he talked to me, boy, he talked to me so nice, and da 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 da, and say that's what I want you to do for me, or I need you to
No,
help me. I'm struggling
that's
with not being
different.
able to communicate with my man. It's not different.
You
It's
know why?
not different.
Okay, this is why it's different. The reason why it's different is I'm explaining to you the environment that I'm in. I didn't tell you that I want you to dress like this lady and dress like this lady that came to me and dress like this lady. I'm saying,
You
hey,
said
listen,
women. You said women. It's period.
right. So if I'm coming home,
Exactly.
listen to what I'm saying. If I'm coming home, right?
Never
And we've
mind.
been in the grind. We've been in the grind. And all you doing right now is wearing you ain't got cute because we've been in the grind too, man. I ain't seen your sexiness in a while. All I'm saying is, babe, we ain't had sex in a minute. I ain't seen you look, you look your best lately. You know what I'm saying? And on top of this now, I'm the or some of these are type of these fellas are one that's gonna take you out, gonna wind it down you all these things, but we ain't gotta do all that. Man, I just need you to, you know what I'm saying, look a little good for me or dress up, you know what I'm saying? Cause this is what's going on and this is where my mind is at. I'm not, can y'all hear me? Cause it look like I'm lagging.
No, I can
We
hear
hear
you.
you.
But see, in this right here, in this explanation right here, you didn't say nothing about the other women. When you said it the first time, Tanya, am I wrong? When you said it the other time, you was like, man, because these women out here, boy, I'm struggling. And all I'm saying is, in any conversation that
That's
you're
true.
bringing to your other
That's
person,
true though.
there it
We
is.
we
Go ahead,
understand. We
go
understand the
ahead,
purpose.
Chancellor. I'm sorry. Can y'all see me?
Yeah,
Yes.
we can see you
Yeah.
and hear you.
My stuff is lagging like crazy right now.
We hear you and see you.
Yeah, everything is lagging right now. Go ahead,
Well,
go ahead.
it's just you because I think we all on the same page. But I
Yes.
think what was missed in all of this is what you said initially. What you said initially was you hadn't had relations in a long time.
Mhm.
And when you haven't had relations in a long time, you're letting your lady know, like, hey, babe, this is what I'm dealing with. You know what I'm saying? And because we haven't had relations in a long time, I'm struggling in this area right now. And I need you to break bread, basically. And so, but the person Irwin, the comment to his comment though, if you say that and Tamara, you respond the way you just responded, that's what causes the man not to be transparent and to shut down and to not tell you what's going on and to not be vulnerable. Because if I can't give you my truth my way, if you say to me, because what I heard you say when you just explained yourself, what I heard
Mhm.
is you said, babe, I want you to be vulnerable. I want you to tell me what's going on. But I want you to do it my way. I want you to say it the way I want you to say it. That's what I heard. I know that ain't what you said, but that's what I heard. Because you said to him that, yeah, I want you to be vulnerable, but you got to find another way to say it. There's a better way for you to explain yourself to me.
There are better ways to
How
communicate.
else can I explain it except that's my truth? That's where I am with it. That's why I said earlier, you have to know your mate, because like I told y'all before, when I used to preach all the time, I'm very transparent. I would say things from the pulpit. I would speak in my bedroom in the pulpit, because in my mind, these people need to hear the truth. They need to know that they're not the only ones going through this and that and blah, blah, blah. And one of my mentors came to me and she told me, she said, Chancey, listen, she says, just because it's a good thing don't always mean it's the right time. Because my wife wasn't in a position at that time in our lives where she could handle my truth, my vulnerability, my transparency, because she wasn't spiritually mature enough to handle that, and for it not to offend her.
Golly, man, what's going on with the system?
Well, the weather is kind of bad, so
Where
it
we
might have
are.
something to do with it.
Hey, TIM, I ain't attacking you, right?
No, I don't think you're attacking me, because me and you not together, so I don't think that's an attack at all. But I just do think that it's a certain way that you got to bring things to your mate. And even a therapist will tell you that it's how you say things, it's how you communicate that makes a lot of a difference as well.
I don't want you to think that I don't understand what you're saying. But
that's all I was saying, though. That's all.
What I need females to understand is, we're saying we want men to be vulnerable, but then you telling me I gotta filter my vulnerability. So that's going. If I gotta think about how I'm gonna say something to you when I'm telling you that my heart is with you, and this is this is the raw truth of what I'm really going through. You telling me to take the emotion out of what I'm.
No, I'm just saying, don't bring another woman into it. Don't tell me what you could tell me that you're struggling without telling me that there's other women in your face and all that. That's all I'm saying. You could tell me that you're struggling without bringing somebody else because then it takes it to another level. Then you're comparing me, you're bringing another person into the situation. You could say that all you want. But if I'm talking to a man as my man, and I bring in another man into the situation, that man is going to feel threatened. Even if the man doesn't even exist. If you be like, well, dang, man, these guys, they just be all in my face. They just that man is gonna feel threatened in some kind of way. All I'm saying is, you don't have to bring another human into it. If I'm communicating with my man, my spouse, it's just between us. You don't have to bring another person into it to prove your point. You can prove your point by just telling me how you feel. I'm struggling. I'm this. I'm going through this. I'm going through that. You don't have to tell me because these women be in my face, and because then that just puts that adds a whole nother difficulty into the conversation that doesn't even have to be there. You could tell me you're struggling without telling me about the women you're looking at work, or for the women that's looking at. That doesn't have to be a part of the equation for me to get sexy. If I need to get sexy, you can tell me that other ways is all I'm saying. When you start bringing in other things, other humans into it, just to prove a point, or just to drive your point home, then that is not conducive to peace going forward. Is all I'm saying. You're adding into now she might go to thinking, well, dang, well, who had his job in his face like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you just don't, you can say what you need to say without having to bring another person of the opposite sex into the conversation. That's all I'm saying. Please be as vulnerable as ever, but you don't have to bring another woman into it to make me understand what you're trying to say. You get what I'm saying, Tanya?
I hear you.
Just to be clear.
I just wonder, do you how you feel about it?
I'm waiting for I'm letting the host invite me in.
Okay, sorry. I just don't feel like I'm alone in this. I'm like,
no, you good. Just to be clear, though. Just to be clear. See, this is the thing about me, and people don't understand. Me as an individual I'm good. I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? Because for me, I don't care about you saying whatever. I would allow, if somebody stepped to my girl, you know what I'm saying, and I'm not around, and then I walk up and I see it, I'm the type of person gonna let her handle that. I ain't the type of person to step in because that's her job to handle that. Cause when I ain't around, that's what she's supposed to do. If I want you to be as vulnerable as you can, and it lets me know that I ain't the only one that's attracted to you. And for me to bring that up, it's not for me to use that to drive my point home. It's actually my truth. I'm not using no other female just so you can do whatever. I'm telling you right now, that ain't something that I want to do. I fear that because I've seen so many other people go through this. So I'm just letting you know this is where I am. Hey, Chancey, you was about to say something before you were saying something before you fell out. Go ahead, man.
I don't even know where I was, man. At the when it dropped off on me.
Hey, what you got? Just think about that. What you got, Coach East?
You were talking.
Man, there are layers to this. You know, it's not Kool-Aid, man. You can't just put it in the water, you know, and expect it to be sweet. This isn't that. I do believe that in healthy situations, when a man speaks that way, it just makes me ask the question, what has he said before then? It would, you know, we would have to answer that question first. What has he said prior to him saying, hey, this is what's going on in my office space? So prior to that, what has the man been trying to tell you? What's her name? She said that. But what is it that I was showing you prior to us getting here? And I think that that's really, you know, kind of like the precursor to how those conversations. No man wants to come home and say, these women looking at me. Nobody wants to do that. If you love somebody, nobody wants to bring that home to a woman. Anytime somebody does that, that's a flag that says, hey, you know, this is something we really need to address. And it's not the intent to bring another woman into it. It's the intent to say, hey, we probably need to come here. You know, men and women are just different in how we address situations. That's just what the nature of the beast is, you know, and I can't be, it shouldn't bother me to the degree that you're wrong because that's the only way you know how to talk to me. You know what I mean? When it comes to stuff like this. But I do think that if that's something that a man is bringing home to you, I promise you that there's something prior to that that caused him to bring that home. And I think that that's probably where we should look first. Because I know, and even, you know, in my own life, in my own right, I've had these conversations and there was never an intent to be offensive. The intent was always to say, hey, you know, this is a problem. This is happening. He's not telling you how strong he is or how cute he is. He's telling you how vulnerable he's becoming because something is missing. He's not saying, hey, I got it, girl, and this is what's happening at the office. That's not, you know, the men, like we say, the men that I know, that's not what their intent is. They, hey, I got it, man, the girl, they coming at me, boy, I'll tell you what, you know, they're not doing that, you know, but what they are saying is, but by the time it gets there, there's something that's already a minus in the relationship in that space that we probably try to talk about. We probably try to address that has been overlooked, has been not seriously considered. You know, if I may be personal for a minute, I lived that, and I didn't bring home office work or office passes. I said, hey, you know, let's talk about this because we're missing this. I've had those conversations, and we have to ask the questions, what do we do when we disregard those conversations? When those conversations aren't getting us to where we need to be, you know? So a lot of times when a man brings that home, they're not showing off. They're saying that, hey, as strong as I am, this is my SOS, you know, especially if you have to. So on top of that, just consider if this is a good man. Because if he's a guy that you know he probably suspect, that's one thing. But if this is a good one and you see his good, it's probably time to listen, you know, and try to see he's trying to communicate in another fashion, you know, because I've lived that life where I did. You know, this is happening, and you know, I don't know why, because I'm bringing home the bacon. I'm faithful. I'm loyal. I'm in the church. I'm preaching. I'm pastoring. You know, I got the house, got the baby, everything you wanted. I got it. We praying together. We living together. We loving together. We doing Bible study on Wednesday. I can talk about this, you know, because I lived it. But what happens when none of those things work, and they're still being passive to your needs? And you know, when then you do start saying those things and interjecting those types of things, and now I'm offended. Well, I wasn't trying to offend you. I've been trying to talk to you the whole time about this. It's just a
Well,
matter of
that's
time,
different. That's it.
you know. So, you know, that's what I'm saying. Is how intentional are we when it comes to listening to the issues? So,
Hey, Chancey, what you got?
Yeah, man. I made a post the other.
You was talking about filtering. Just so you know, you was talking about filtering, and being vulnerable, but having to filter.
knowing your partner and all of those things. But here's the piece I want to hit home, man, is that as men, we deal with a lot when we leave this house. When we leave here, it's a lot we have to deal with. You know, to keep our head held high, to keep our shoulders back, to keep our confidence up, and to keep going on a day-to-day basis, knowing all of the responsibility that's on our shoulders. And this place is supposed to be my peace. This is supposed to be where I can take my cape off, I can put my shield down, I can be vulnerable, I can tell you how my day was, I can unload this stuff off of me, and just kind of be. And if I'm doing that, and then your response to me is, why did you say it that way? Or why did you have to say it like that? You need to tell it to me like this. I mean, when I first put my crown on, I couldn't fit it. It didn't fit my head. But because of the safe space, because of her continuing to build me up here behind closed doors in the bed, you know, having our private conversations, having our heated fellowship, because of the way she built me up, it made me do everything in my power to fit into that crown, so that now I can be the king that she needs me to be, and the king that I need to be, even for myself, is because how she responded to me in my moments of vulnerability. If that man is vulnerable and you're tearing him down or
Wow.
responding to him negatively or in a contentious manner, he's never going to get to the point where that crown fits on his head, because he's continually having a fight outside and then fight you inside. You've got to be that. We're talking about a safe space here. So when you talk about safe spaces, you've got to, as I said in the characteristics of a man, know who you are. You know what I'm saying? And if there's things, and I addressed this the last time we talked, if there are things that you know that you haven't done your work on, and areas that you know you are still struggling in, you got to make sure you deal with that stuff before you come into a relationship, because it's going to hinder both you and the person that you're trying to build one with.
So the one thing that we talked about at the beginning was listening, right? And listening to understand opposed to listening to respond. So the importance of, and what I've learned in listening is just you can't allow a person to be them and communicate accordingly. If I know their heart, you know what I'm saying, despite how they're delivering, I need to hear what they're saying, opposed to allowing certain words in their delivery itself to offend me. Because if I can hear their heart, and I can and I'm listening to understand, it allows me to filter all the nonsense, all the things that the word that I have a problem with, to actually hear what they're saying. And that's what gives me time to process it. That's why I gotta have time to process everything so I can hear it properly. And I'm able to respond properly and not out of my emotions.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. Women say that they want these things from men, but when they actually get it, I'm telling you, these are good men. These are good women.
Mm-hmm.
But these jokers are at the place now to where, man, I'm not being heard. Man, all I want to do, like, I'm about to go crazy. And then